The Emerald Fitness Center smells like sweat, ambition, and money. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook downtown, and every piece of equipment costs more than Marcus Hayes's monthly rent. It's 6:47 a.m. on a Wednesday. The gym is almost empty. Marcus pushes his mop across the marble lobby in long, methodical strokes. His movements are precise, not sloppy, not rushed. Each pass of the mop is intentional. His dark eyes are focused downward, but not because he's not paying attention. He's aware of everything. The creak of the treadmill from the cardio section, the hiss of the air conditioning, the sound of water running in the locker room. He's been mopping these same floors for 3 years. 3 years of invisible labor. 3 years of people walking past him without seeing him. His name tag reads Marcus in faded blue lettering. Below it, maintenance staff. The martial arts studio door swings open with unnecessary force. Ethan Cross walks in like he owns the building. Maybe he does. His father does. Behind him, 4 younger men in athletic gear move with the easy confidence of people who have never been told no. Ethan is 25, lean-muscled, sharp-featured, with a black belt tied around his waist that cost more than Marcus makes in a month. He's wearing fresh, white athletic wear. His hair is perfectly gelled. His smile has never touched his eyes. Ethan stops when he sees Marcus. "Yo, old man, you need to bounce. I need this floor clean before my session." Marcus doesn't look up. He completes his stroke. Water drips from the mop head onto the marble. "I'll be done in 5 minutes, sir." 5 minutes? Ethan laughs. It's not a real laugh. It's the sound of someone who's used to being entertained by the world. Look at those streaks. Did you even go to school for this? Or is this, He gestures vaguely at Marcus's dark skin, his worn jacket, the bicycle helmet hanging from his cart. "Just your thing?" The other men snicker. Marcus grips the wooden handle of the mop. His right hand tenses. There's a thick scar running from his wrist to his knuckles, silver with age, raised slightly from the skin. He rubs it absently, a nervous habit, as if checking to make sure it's still there. "I'll move out of your way," Marcus says quietly. "Yeah, you do that." Ethan steps closer. "Actually, wait, how old are you? Like 45? 50? You're still mopping floors at your age? That's..." He shakes his head, genuinely confused, as if he's trying to understand a foreign language. "Do you have kids?" Marcus freezes. "Bet they're real proud," Ethan continues, turning to his friends with a smirk. "Their dad's a janitor at a gym. God, that must be rough." Something cold moves through Marcus's chest. Not anger. Worse. Fear. He sets them up against the wall and walks out without another word. Behind him, Ethan's laughter echoes off the mirrors like a curse. Marcus picks up his daughter Lily from Lincoln Middle School at 3:45 p.m. She's waiting by the gate, her backpack slung over one shoulder, her uniform slightly wrinkled from the day. She's 12 years old and looks exactly like him, same dark eyes, same way of moving through the world like she's carrying something heavy. But when she climbs onto the back of his bicycle, Marcus knows something is wrong. Her hands are shaking as they grip his jacket. Her breathing is shallow. "Lily, what happened?" She doesn't answer. She just holds on tighter. They ride home in silence. Their apartment is in the east side of town, where rent stays low because nobody wants to live there anymore. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, kitchen the size of a closet. But it's clean. Marcus keeps it that way. Inside, he makes tea. Lily sits at the kitchen table, her eyes fixed on the chipped paint on the wall. She still hasn't spoken. "Talk to me, baby." Her voice, when it comes, is barely a whisper. "Some kids at lunch. They said you were just a cleaner. They said I didn't belong at their table because..." She swallows hard. "Because we're poor." Marcus's hands curl into fists on the kitchen counter. "They said rich families don't mix with people like us. They pulled me out of my seat. They pushed me." She shows him her jacket sleeve. It's torn. There's dirt under her fingernails. I told them you were a good person, Dad. I told them you were better than all of them, but they just laughed and... She breaks. It's not loud crying. It's something worse. It's the kind of crying that comes from deep inside, the kind that means something fundamental has cracked. Marcus pulls her into his chest and holds her while she trembles against him. I'm sorry, he whispers into her hair. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Lily says through her tears, but Marcus knows better. That night, after Lily is asleep, Marcus sits alone in the darkness of his bedroom. He rubs his right hand, that scar again, burning like it always does when he's stressed. He thinks about Ethan's words. Bet they're real proud. He gets up and reaches under the bed. There's a wooden box, scratched and worn, hidden beneath a pile of old blankets. His hands shake as he opens it. Inside is a black belt, faded with age, frayed at the edges. Beneath it, a photograph. The image is old, the colors washed out. Marcus stares at the young man in the photo, shirtless, muscled, standing on a podium with a gold medal around his neck. His arms are raised in victory. His face is bright with triumph. The banner behind him reads, National Judo Championship 2008. Below the photograph is a letter. The paper has yellowed. The handwriting is careful, methodical. Marcus, strength is not in how hard you can hit. It is in how much you can endure without breaking. Use your power to protect, never to harm. Coach Daniel Turner. Marcus traces the words with his finger. His throat tightens. He hasn't opened this box in 5 years. He sets the box aside and sits on the floor, his back against the bed, staring at his hands. These hands once threw men twice his size. These hands once won matches that seemed impossible. These hands once made people fear him. Now they hold mops and scrub brushes. For the first time in 15 years, Marcus asks himself a question he's been too afraid to ask. What if he's been wrong? Wednesday evening. The Emerald Fitness Center is transformed. Banners hang from the ceiling. Rows of folding chairs have been set up in the martial arts studio. Parents and gym members file in, filling seats, talking in low, excited voices. It's the quarterly demonstration, a chance for Ethan to show off. Marcus was scheduled to work until 8 p.m. His job was to stay in the back, invisible, and clean up. Instead, he stands near the storage closet with his mop and cart, watching the crowd filter in. Lily is here. He didn't want her to come, but she insisted. She's sitting in the back row, small in a chair that's too big for her, her hands folded neatly in her lap. She looks for him in the crowd and finds him. Their eyes meet for a moment. She doesn't smile, but she nods slightly. I'm here, Dad. The lights dim. The music starts. Ethan walks onto the mat in a crisp white uniform, his black belt tied perfectly. The crowd claps. He bows with practiced grace. Then he moves. He's good. Marcus has to give him that. His kicks are high and fast. His hands slice through the air with precision. He demonstrates breaking techniques, splitting wooden boards with his bare hands. He spars with an assistant, landing controlled strikes that look devastating but cause no real harm. The audience gasps and cheers. Marcus recognizes every technique, every footwork pattern, every bit of timing. It's textbook, disciplined, clean, but there's something missing, something Ethan doesn't understand yet. Control is not the same as restraint. Speed is not the same as power. After 20 minutes, Ethan finishes his routine. He stands in the center of the mat, breathing hard, his face flushed with exertion and pride. The audience erupts in applause. He bows, deeper this time, soaking in the attention. Then he straightens and scans the room. His eyes land on Marcus, and he smiles. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan says, his voice carrying easily over the crowd, martial arts is not just about technique. It's about confidence. It's about courage. It's about being willing to test yourself against someone else. He walks toward Marcus. The room goes quiet. We have someone here tonight who's been watching our classes, Ethan says. A very dedicated observer. Marcus feels the weight of 200 eyes turning toward him. I think it's time he learned what it actually takes to step onto this mat, Ethan continues. Come on, don't be shy. Ethan gestures toward the mat with the casual confidence of someone who has never lost a fight, who has never been humiliated, who doesn't understand what he's asking. Come spar with me, just for fun, Ethan says. His smile widens. Let's show everyone what you're made of, or are you scared? The silence is suffocating. Marcus looks down at the mop in his hands. The wooden handle is smooth from years of use. He thinks about walking away, about keeping his head down, about staying invisible. Then he hears a small voice. Dad. Lily is standing now, her small frame trembling. Her eyes are locked on him. I've always been proud of you, she says, her voice shaking. I don't care what you do. I just want you to be proud of yourself. Marcus's chest tightens. He looks at his daughter, at her tear-streaked face, at the strength in her eyes despite everything. He sets the mop against the wall. He walks toward the mat. Marcus steps onto the mat. His shoes are old work boots, scuffed and worn. He doesn't take them off. He stands across from Ethan and lowers his head slightly. Just for fun, Marcus says quietly. Someone rings a small bell. The match begins. Ethan moves first. He comes in fast, throwing a high roundhouse kick aimed at Marcus's head. It's flashy, designed to impress. Marcus steps back. One step. The kick misses by inches. Ethan resets and throws a combination, a jab, a cross, a low kick. All of it fast, all of it precise. Marcus moves backward, his feet sliding across the mat in small controlled steps. He doesn't block, he just moves. Each time Ethan strikes, Marcus is already somewhere else. The crowd leans forward. Ethan's smile fades. He increases his speed, throwing strikes faster, harder. But Marcus keeps slipping away, his body moving with an effortless fluidity that seems impossible. Then Ethan throws a spinning back kick. It's powerful, meant to catch Marcus off guard. This time, Marcus doesn't step back. He shifts his weight slightly, turning his body at an angle. The kick sails past him, missing by less than an inch, and as Ethan spins, Marcus reaches out and places his hand gently on Ethan's shoulder. Not a push, not a strike, just a touch. Ethan stumbles forward, losing his balance, and falls hard onto one knee. The room goes silent. Ethan stands quickly, his face red. There's something in his eyes now. Uncertainty. Lucky, he mutters. But he's wrong. He charges again, this time with no technique, just raw aggression. He throws a straight punch aimed at Marcus's face. Full force, no control. Marcus moves. He sidestepped, catches Ethan's wrist mid-strike, and in one smooth motion twists his body and pulls. Ethan flips through the air. He lands hard on his back. The impact echoes through the studio. Marcus kneels beside him, his hand still holding Ethan's wrist, pinning him to the mat. His shoulder is pressed gently but firmly to Ethan's chest. It took less than 2 seconds. The crowd erupts, not in cheers, in shocked gasps. People stand. Some pull out their phones. Marcus releases Ethan and stands. He bows slightly and steps back. Ethan lies on the mat, breathing hard, staring at the ceiling. His face is pale. He doesn't get up. Then from the front row, an old man rises to his feet. He's tall and thin with white hair and a lined face that carries the weight of decades. His eyes are sharp and clear. When he looks at Marcus, recognition flickers, immediate, certain. "Dear God," the old man whispers. He walks toward the mat, moving slowly, his gaze fixed on Marcus like he's seeing a ghost. "That throw," he says, his voice trembling, "that was Ion Seoi Naga, a classical variation. I've only seen one person execute it that way." Marcus doesn't respond. He stands with his head lowered, his hands at his sides. "Your name is Marcus Hayes," the old man says. It's not a question. Marcus looks up. He meets the old man's eyes. "Coach Weber," Marcus says quietly. Raymond Weber steps onto the mat. He walks up to Marcus and stops inches away, staring at him like he's trying to make sure he's real. 15 years, Coach Weber says. We all thought you were dead. After the accident, after you disappeared, nobody could find you. Not the Olympic Committee, not your family, not me. The crowd erupts in whispers. Coach Weber's eyes fill with tears. You were supposed to go to the Olympics, he says. You were the national champion. 37 undefeated matches. You were Daniel's last protege. You were supposed to change everything. Ethan sits up, staring at Marcus with wide eyes. Wait, you were a fighter? A fighter? Coach Weber turns to him. He was the national judo champion in 2008. Undefeated, unstoppable. People pull out their phones. A few start recording. Lily stands in the back row, her hand over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Marcus closes his eyes. The weight of 15 years presses down on him like a stone. The office on the 3rd floor overlooks the gym floor. Glass walls, leather furniture. Richard Cross, Ethan's father, sits behind a large desk. He's in his 50s, graying at the temples, with the kind of face that's used to getting what it wants. Ethan stands near the window. He doesn't look at Marcus. You lied on your application, Richard says coldly. You said you had no martial arts background. I didn't lie, Marcus says. I don't practice anymore. Haven't for 15 years. That's not the point. Richard leans back in his chair. You concealed your identity. You made my son look like a fool in front of 100 people. That video is everywhere. Do you know what that does to this facility's reputation? Marcus glances at Ethan. The younger man is staring at the floor, his arms crossed. I didn't ask to be put on that mat, Marcus says quietly. You should have said no. I'm letting you go. Effective immediately. We'll mail your final paycheck. Marcus nods. He had expected this. Understood. He turns to leave. Wait, Ethan says. Marcus stops. Ethan finally looks at him. Dad, this isn't right. Richard's face darkens. Ethan. No! Ethan steps forward. He didn't do anything wrong. I was the one who pushed him. I was the one who made it public. If anyone should be blamed, it's me. We'll discuss this later, Richard says coldly. There's nothing to discuss, Ethan says. His voice is steady now, calm. I've been walking around here like I own the place, treating people like they're beneath me. And he showed me what real discipline looks like, what real strength looks like. He turns to Marcus. I'm sorry for everything. You didn't deserve any of it. Marcus meets his eyes. There's no anger there, no resentment, just exhaustion. You're young, Marcus says. You'll learn. I want to learn from you, Ethan says, if you'll let me. Marcus shakes his head. I'm not a teacher anymore. Then what are you? Ethan asks. The question hangs in the air. Marcus doesn't answer. He leaves the office without another word. The rain starts as Marcus unlocks his bike, cold and steady. He rides through it without stopping, the water soaking through his jacket, blurring his vision. By the time he reaches home, he's shivering. Lily is at school. The apartment is empty. Marcus stands in the kitchen, dripping water onto the floor, staring at nothing. He had lost his job. Again. This time, it would be harder to find another one. People would recognize him now. The video had made sure of that. He sits down on the floor, his back against the kitchen cabinet. The scar on his hand throbs. He rubs it absently. Then he hears a knock at the door. Coach Weber stands in the hallway, rain dripping from his coat. Behind him is Ethan. Marcus stares at them. What are you doing here? Coach Weber steps inside without waiting for an invitation. We heard what happened. Richard fired you. That's his right. It's not right, Ethan says. Coach Weber places a hand on Marcus's shoulder. You can't keep running, son. You've been hiding for 15 years. Look where it's gotten you. Broke. Afraid. Teaching yourself to be invisible. I'm not afraid, Marcus says, but his voice lacks conviction. Yes, you are, Coach Weber says gently. You're afraid that if you step back into that world, you'll hurt someone again. But that accident wasn't your fault. Everyone knew that. It was a legal throw. He just landed wrong. He broke his spine, Marcus says flatly. Spent a year in a hospital. And that was tragic, Coach Weber says. But it wasn't your sin to carry. Coach Weber reaches into his jacket and pulls out a folded piece of paper. Old, yellowed at the edges. Coach Daniel wrote this a week before he died, Coach Weber says. He asked me to give it to you if I ever found you. Marcus takes the letter with shaking hands. He opens it slowly. The handwriting is unmistakable. Marcus, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone, and it probably means you've been hiding. I know you. I know how you think. You'll blame yourself for something that wasn't your fault. You'll run. You'll bury yourself somewhere no one can find you. But here's the truth, son. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up. The world needs teachers like you. Don't let one accident take that away from you. Your daughter needs a father who isn't afraid to be himself. Forgive yourself, Marcus. It's time. Marcus reads the letter 3 times. I quit, Ethan says suddenly. Marcus looks up. You what? I quit the gym. I'm not working for someone who treats people like that, not even if he's my father. Coach Weber nods. And I've been thinking about what you could do, Marcus. You could teach, not in some fancy gym. Just kids who need it. Kids who've been bullied. Kids who don't know how to stand up for themselves. You don't need money for that. You just need space and time. Marcus looks at his hands. The scar catches the light. I have a daughter to take care of, he says quietly. Then teach, Coach Weber says. Make money doing what you were meant to do. The world doesn't need more janitors, Marcus. It needs more teachers. That evening, when Marcus picks up Lily from school, she climbs onto the back of his bike and wraps her arms around him. How was your day? He asks. Good, she says. Some kids saw the video. They said you were cool. One of them asked if you could teach him. Marcus is quiet for a moment. Lily, would you want me to teach? If I did that instead of what I've been doing? Her arms tighten around his waist. Only if you want to, Dad, she says. I don't care what you do. I just want you to be happy. Marcus's throat tightens. 6 months later. The apartment has changed. The couch is gone, replaced by mats that cover the living room floor. 8 kids between the ages of 8 and 14 show up 3 times a week. Some are shy. Some have been bullied. One has anxiety so bad he can barely speak. Marcus teaches them slowly, patiently. He doesn't focus on winning. He focuses on balance, on breathing, on standing still when everything inside screams to run. Lily sits in the corner during every session, watching her father move through the room with quiet authority. She no longer sees a janitor. She sees a teacher, a protector, a man who found his way back. Ethan comes by twice a week. He works alongside the kids, learning humility 1 lesson at a time. Coach Weber visits every Saturday, sitting in a folding chair, watching with a small, satisfied smile. One evening, after the last student has left, Marcus sits on the edge of the mat with Lily beside him. You okay, Dad? She asks. Marcus nods. For the first time in 15 years, he means it. Yeah, he says. I think I am.